up, everybody? Welcome to From Boys to Men, and we are happy to have y'all back once again. I hope y'all got a chance to see that last episode with our boy Hatchet Man Hull. He definitely gave us some enlightenment on a lot of different things when it comes to being a black man and being successful, being a black dad, like which was big and different things like that. And that's something that we really want to make sure that we put up on I don't want to say put on a pedestal, but kind of elevate and to be able to bring awareness. There are good black fathers out here. You know what I'm saying? We've had so many times in this in this country, I guess you could say, where over the years and so many years that there's been the stigma of bad black fathers, or they're not, or absent. Which there's some truth to that. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of great ones. So we wanted to bring light to that. And then just, as black men being successful, that was big. To hear him talk about being, his struggle and then getting to where he is now is excellent. So shout out to you, David, man. We appreciate you coming through and being a part of this. It was great. And now we back to the four of us. You know what I'm saying? The Musketeers. We out here.
The four goats.
Hey, I like
Four Musketeers.
I feel like buy David a hatchet for Christmas.
Hey, you should do that. We might have to do that early for Christmas.
Get it engraved.
Hey, that would be dope.
What the day
you
he was on the podcast.
Surprise, but that'd be dope.
Watch, we all from the podcast.
Yeah.
David don't watch this
a
episode.
hatchet that got the date he was on the podcast.
I'm gonna block him from watching this episode.
There you go. Hey, listen, everybody can view it. You can do this on Facebook. Everybody can view it but David.
He gonna be like, man, why can't I watch the podcast?
Say, did y'all skip an episode?
Nah, we didn't do one. But no, man, we appreciate you coming through, man. When you do see this, probably, it was super dope. Now, of course, we gotta have some another good. Hopefully, y'all had a good Memorial Day weekend and different things like that.
Yeah, I had barbecue at his house.
Dope.
He had a barbecue at his house. How does that sound? Usually that means he had a barbecue.
I had barbecue at his house.
Okay. The way you said it was, it seemed. I thought you said I had a barbecue at his house. And I was like,
I said I had barbecue at his house.
I got you. Mm-hmm. How was that? Was that dope? I didn't get a chance to make it through.
Actually, it was a pretty good time. Me and the wife and my son was there. Everybody got to see Elliot for the first time.
That's dope.
It was pretty nice.
Hey, Dom is fire on the grill, bro, and that's coming from
low key
somebody who been on the grill for a long time.
My boy Akeem, check him out. He was helping out with the grill work. Did a nice
Dom,
job.
I'm just saying, you fire on the grill, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it.
And I've been doing this since we was kids, so like
facts. I just be over
I'm
there every time.
I'm big on it. Like
I'm doing a famous barbecue. Bet.
You already know.
Mama make banana pudding. Side
Yeah,
banana pudding.
Yeah.
Hey, my mom did mention that she might make some banana pudding soon. I'm just saying, Mama.
We need that banana pudding.
I remember.
So 4th of July at your mom's house?
That's not up to me, but
we'll pull up at Mama Plant's house.
Come on, Mom.
I'm sure I will.
Wait,
Hey.
so how was your Memorial Day?
my actual Memorial Day, I just chilled, man. I just relaxed.
Did you have a celebration Saturday, Sunday, Friday?
I didn't have a great weekend, but I don't want to get into that. Just personal stuff. But yeah, it was.
I mean, chilling is always good, though.
Yeah, yesterday I definitely got a chance to like relax and just like
unwind a little bit.
Yeah, man. You know, sometimes like having a day off to do nothing, like it's kind of like that mental health rest. Even though it wasn't on purpose, that's not really what we were like purposely doing that. But like that, it was just like just relax. Didn't have to do nothing crazy, And so we just chilled. We watched a movie earlier today. So we watched this movie, Army of the Dead. It was actually.
I watched that.
It was actually
decent.
I ain't did it yet. I ain't watched it yet.
I enjoyed it.
I tried to watch it on the flight.
We enjoyed it.
After like the first 10 minutes, I had to turn it off because I think kids around.
Bro, you might have to watch it. If you enjoy kind of zombie movies or anything like that, it's a little different than normal zombie movies.
Yep.
Though it's actually a lot different. It's a lot of different, different things, and it's but we enjoyed it. We were sitting there and we was having a good time watching different things happening. So of course, when the zombies, you always see something crazy. They biting somebody or something and whatever. It was fun to watch it though. We had some good laughs and stuff. Yeah, super interesting. You definitely wouldn't like think of some of that stuff that happened in like zombie movies, but it was cool. I enjoyed it.
I did get to play some ball Monday.
Hey,
morning.
Did you?
Yep. LA out in Livonia.
I know I got to chill, but dang, you ain't saying nothing.
I mean, I figured,
Disrespect. I'm just playing.
Next Memorial Day.
Wow, a year from now. Thanks for the invite. So, with all that being said, we got, sometimes we always get right into stuff, and like I just feel like we had to chop it up a little bit. But
George's Memorial Day was actually pretty cool too.
What'd you do, bro?
I just worked the whole time. You know,
Yeah, we saw that.
I called
in
you.
the chat.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna stop calling me at work? But I was I basically worked till like 7. Chill with the fam a little bit.
that's cool.
Girl, a little bit.
That's cool.
Sleep. You know what I mean? That's about it. I was kind of on your tip, so pause. And then, but with that being said, we gonna get into a story time with Dom.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, what up, good
Awareness.
peoples? You know what it is, your boy Dom before Nick in the building, slow motion all day, every day. Keep it right, keep it tight. You know how we do it.
I can't.
That can't be the next thing that happens after. Yeah, never mind. But go ahead.
Just man.
Just go ahead.
Wow. All right. I'm just gonna listen. Sorry.
And this is. I remember a long time. Y'all, I don't know if y'all remember. Y'all remember MySpace?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Yes.
Oh, it's been a long time.
I used to have this Chris Brown song. I used to have
you
Yo
have
in the
MySpace, did
background.
You had what?
I had Yo in the background.
You wasn't on MySpace, was
Like Chris Brown?
You don't remember Chris Brown? Yeah.
I
start
think
on?
y'all wasn't on MySpace. I think because when MySpace was around, y'all was like 25. So
Okay, hold on.
Hold
on,
MySpace,
dog.
MySpace.
I'm pretty
um,
sure. I'm
MySpace
pretty
is more
sure.
my
I was
generation.
like 13. when I
Almost,
first got my MySpace.
almost punched this man square in
I
his face.
can't
13.
believe you said that.
Wow.
13 going on 30. But
You were just
basically-
born when it came out.
Right.
Was I? Was I?
Hey, so
Go
back
ahead,
to
go ahead,
back to
dog.
my story.
Yeah, bro. We
Back to my
MySpace.
story.
I'm first of all,
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna stop
I-
you again.
That's
though,
where I first
'cause
learned
you
how to
hated-
code.
No, hold on. Dom hated on me because I said I had Yo in the background. Okay, on my MySpace. You know you had to have a popular song.
Oh, no, I had
Exactly. All right.
I had,
come on now.
I had the best MySpace page. But we'll just leave it at that.
He had MySpace when they were starting to go out of,
So anyways, back in the day when I had MySpace, when Mark had Yo, I had Nuck If You Buck. You know how we,
That was
I
cool. That was
hood
fire back
classic.
then.
But anyway, so
Black Planet.
I'm pretty sure I was friends on MySpace. But
So-
Go ahead.
I don't even remember my name, whatever. This was a while ago. I remember, going to school.
They did have names
Used to
and
be
stuff.
talking smack to people. Yeah, check my MySpace, you know what I'm saying? And, we used to compete. I don't understand how you compete for who got the best page when it don't even matter in real life.
It definitely mattered.
And it didn't.
It definitely
It
mattered.
didn't. Your top
But-
friend.
Absolutely
But
mattered.
compete,
You
though?
competed for the top friends.
I'm competing who got the. I'm not competing everything. I want. Like, I don't want the glitter, but I want the background holographic. I want video playing. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to have names, words scrolling across the screen, a bunch of pictures
So
for
you
no
wanted a
reason.
big old ad, huh?
Yeah, but I say he wanted his to look like a malware.
I'm
ad.
not mad at that.
He wanted his to look like-
I'm not mad at
just a pop up, just a straight pop up on the screen.
Yeah.
Stuff sliding across. Winner, chicken dinner. Everything going.
Pretty much, bro.
You win $1 million.
Pretty
across
much.
the
Y'all
bottom.
know good
I
and
got you.
well, bro.
You sell
If
lottery tickets
if
on
somebody had a
MySpace
fire
page.
MySpace
And
page,
they had a
bro,
bunch of stuff
You had
on
a
it.
bunch of stuff.
And
on it.
it was organized good. Remember, you used to go to the site to actually get the organization, hack and everything,
Right.
and put it in.
Less was
edit.
more, though.
Yeah, that shit was dope.
Less
I mean,
was more.
facts.
That was stupid. But
Not back then.
what made me mad, and I guess this is what triggered my remember all my password type situations. I forgot my password,
Okay.
and I tried to reset it.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had that moment when you try to reset your password and it says can't be the same password?
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah, I did that like 4 times.
Wait, what? You kept putting. Oh, they were like different passwords
Yeah, they kept-
that you had all used
And they
before.
said I can't use it. Never got my MySpace back. I was
So
hurt.
why you ain't come up with a new password?
I tried all the ones I can think of that I can remember. Couldn't remember nonsense.
You just write one down.
Right.
Write it down where?
Pen
back
and
then?
paper?
No, I
No?
didn't keep that.
Oh, this was like before you had like phones and stuff.
Yeah.
Wait,
we ain't
wait,
had.
wait,
we ain't
wait,
had.
wait,
you know,
wait, wait.
the-
I mean, it had no iPhone.
What do you mean?
Wow.
What do you mean that you couldn't?
He had.
You had nowhere to
Notepad.
put it, though.
He had
Just
notepad.
put it at your desk.
Right. He had notepad on his computer.
I would hope so.
It was the family computer.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Anyways.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's a point.
No, the point was just
I'm just playing.
No, the point that really is not just remember your passwords, people. If you go on Facebook, because that's how you get hacked. I was kind of upset about it. Don't do it no more.
Wow.
Y'all new generation.
the point?
Y'all new generation with that. You ain't got to remember your password and remember the phone number, emergency contact. Yeah, that's really stupid. You might want to know some numbers. You never know what might happen these days.
So I joked and said, get to your point, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I do the password thing is that's a real issue, bro. That's a real. I don't usually forget my password like that. I usually use a combination of the same ones,
which is actually a
similar
problem.
ones, whatever. But then, like, the ones I hate is when you gotta have a symbol at the end of that joint.
Man, I can't never. I forget what
You
you're
gotta
about.
have letters, numbers, and a symbol.
I don't know if
I always use $, but
Really?
it's terrible.
I use exclamation point.
You just giving out hackers with information.
I mean, they don't know the rest of my passwords.
Yeah, but they know that part now.
That's cool.
They just need like one piece at a time.
I literally have nothing to get.
I used to use 4 symbols on mine. 4 symbols, like 2 letters. 2 numbers, and then a word.
You talking about me giving away stuff? He gave out the whole thing.
Yeah, he did.
I said I used to.
He might as well.
That's like 18 passwords ago.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the password.
So,
that was.
A story time with Dom.
as my man G would say, for a bad segue.
Was it really?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
The story
Pretty rough.
played a role though, so I will say that.
Did it?
Kind of.
Well, I would love to see you shape that in there. So
Social
I'm
media.
listening. All right, go ahead. Oh,
Yep.
MySpace. MySpace angle. MySpace angle.
That's how you know he started late with MySpace.
Social media.
MySpace angle. Okay. I got
Now I need y'all to check this out. Everybody is on social media nowadays.
Facts.
Obviously, he brought up MySpace, which was just literally 15 years ago? Is it something like that?
it. Might be longer than that.
Like it
Somebody
might be.
look
Yeah.
that up.
It's something like that. Somewhere in that range.
I mean, it was here 15 years ago.
15,
but
16
I think it was popular like
MySpace. Before that was Black Planet. Before that was AOL Messenger or whatever that was.
Never
Instant
messed with
Messenger, man.
Never
Instant
messed
Messenger
with
was. Man, that's how I used to talk to people.
See?
When I'm
See?
talking to the.
This
like,
proves that we like were
Wow.
actually around the same age.
How
See,
old were you in
AOL
2008?
See, this proves that we were actually around the same age. See, AOL
Yeah.
Messenger was also my first.
AOL Messenger was fire, bro.
That was my
The
first.
Instant Messenger, bro?
Dollar
we
was
had
trash,
to,
bro.
everybody had,
Sorry, dollar
everybody
was
had the
trash.
AOL.
You said what?
I hated dial up. Hey, don't use the phone. I ain't got time for that, bro.
That's why you had to get
Side
AOL.
note.
AOL was amazing.
AOL Instant was different. Like, it
was.
changed the
Side note,
game.
and you probably didn't realize this, MySpace was actually only around for 5 years.
Yeah.
That was
And,
it.
and by the way, I was in 8th grade. By the
So
way.
as we
Because we shift to Facebook.
as we shift,
Right.
really no, this is not even a shift though, because we're still in the same vein. Like it's so
Same vein.
MySpace. Then we had Facebook, and then we had we got Twitter. Now we got Instagram. Like we got so many social media platforms nowadays, and so the question is, and this is a broad topic, and you guys got it. Y'all got to answer this with us. Like, is social media helping or hurting the human connection, relationships, friendships? Now, I noticed that. So as a kid, right? If you remember when we were kids, and this is not even like no. Like even
Shot
when
at-
you were a kid though, like for real, like
Y'all
'cause you
was-
were young
That
enough.
was about
I'm not
3
even
that was
young
about
enough-
3
I
years
was
ago,
a
right?
kid, y'all was a kid.
That was about
No,
3 years
because
ago, right?
honestly, in the last 10 years, things have sped up like crazy. But in the last, like, when we were kids, like, and I'm talking like, we like 10, 5, 10, something like that. Like, we were
90s.
outside all the time, right?
Right.
Always
2000s.
playing outside, always doing stuff outside.
On my bike.
Yeah. I used to ride the bike around
Scratching
the
my
neighborhood,
knees all the
bro.
way up.
But nowadays, kids ride they ride their bikes, but
They going to the
a little
store.
bit
They
here and
going
there.
home.
You got a lot of kids who are inside playing games. Even now, we talked about this about playing video games last year, right? We were all locked up. We was all playing video games. I said locked up like we was in prison.
But we were. But we were.
It's not prison, but that's neither here nor there. But
I'm locked up.
okay, so
I mean,
this episode is all
I
over the
had a
place.
nonstop conjugal visit.
All right, man. So
And that's how
anywho,
Eli got here.
So
All right, cool.
Nope. We're gonna
love you, Bill.
segue away from that.
Way, huh?
Like so we were playing video games.
Right.
And so, but it wasn't like back in the day, you would go over your boy house
to play video games.
and we playing the
Especially
game.
can't do that no more.
Especially if you have N64.
There's
can't
so
even do
many
that no
games now that you can't even do that no more, bro.
Single player like a mug.
You
Like
absolutely
3% of games
Well,
out right now.
you have to play
That's
online.
not real
With
number.
a lot of people with a lot of games. It's not out.
To be fair, back then there was no online. So
That's true.
You had to go there to
That's
play
true.
with people. You
Well,
don't have
there
to.
was online. It just wasn't.
As popular. Everybody
It was,
wasn't
it
doing
was
this.
all. It was all
When
computer.
did online get
It
developed?
was all computer
PlayStation.
games.
PlayStation had it.
Yeah, but nobody
PS2 had it.
PS2 had online.
Yeah.
Yeah,
PS2
360
had
had online.
Even like I said,
PS2?
PlayStation had it.
Yeah, PS.
I thought
or
they
maybe it
were talking
was
about PS3.
I
Maybe
know
it's PS3.
I know
I don't
PlayStation had
think
It might be
PS2 had
PS3.
I know
yeah.
PlayStation had it
PS2
because
had
of the
it.
fact of when Madden, NCAA, and Live, they were still online.
Okay, so sports game, but the point is, it wasn't as regular.
No, facts.
Now it's
PS3,
like
Xbox 360.
now you only playing online with people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like barely people will go over to somebody because in a lot of games. So it's like, so think about this: the developers are making games so that you don't go over somebody's crib and play the game. They
Right.
want you all to get the game, and now you're all playing online, but you're never around each other.
I mean,
You know what I mean?
Is that-
they
is that
they
a
just
bad thing?
realized a better way to make more money.
Yeah, but okay, question.
They have.
Is that a bad
Capitalism.
thing? Is that a bad thing?
Is it a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a convenient thing
Well, I think you have to ask yourself, what is the point of technology?
to evolve.
To evolve into what? Why do people invent things?
To make life better and easier.
Thank you.
So suppose
They invent
There's
things
great-
to make
That-
things more
that's what,
convenient.
that was the point. That was
there
the-
is some
No,
gray
let's go. That was the main
area.
thought. That's
What
the
was
main
created
thought.
to make life less convenient?
There is
No,
great.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
What was created to make life
from
less,
a person,
less convenient?
No,
from
I
a person,
hear you.
from a person who designs technology on a daily basis, is not always about convenience. It's about efficiency, and there's a difference
that too,
between efficiency and convenience. Right? I
Right.
understand. A lot of public technology is geared towards ease of use and convenience for the individual.
Right.
You know, gaming.
Right.
You know, cell phones.
Yeah.
Things like that. But a lot of technology that most people don't have access to is simply for, efficiency.
Right. And
True.
efficiency also most of the time equates to how quick something happens. If you have a robot that takes 6 hours to do something, and then you create a robot that takes 2, because it's more efficient, and in turn it makes it more convenient to use.
So I hear
Only if it's
that.
doing a better job.
Right.
I
that
hear
makes it
that.
more convenient though. At the
I
end
hear
of the day.
that.
But if it's not.
But kids, so as kids though, the
Right.
difference with that is with kids, we're not even talking about as adults. Okay, yeah, as adults, we're far more busy. We have jobs. We
Right.
got different things that we got to go to. It's far more convenient.
I gotta
It
go make
definitely
money to
helps.
go buy the game.
Yeah, it definitely is more convenient and it helps. But I remember Dom coming over the crib back in the day, and we out here playing. That's how we found out about FIFA, by the way. That's neither here nor there. Great game. But that's how we found out about FIFA. It was like we
was
would
at family
be at the
video
crib
every
playing
other
the
week,
game.
bro.
Like we'd go rent a game. And like it was the joy of doing some of those things, the process together, like getting together.
Oh,
like,
Blockbuster?
Blockbuster, man. Make it a Blockbuster night, bro.
Gamefly.
Make it a Blockbuster
Nah,
night.
man. Gamefly
Gamefly's still around.
Gamefly
Still
is
around,
who
yeah.
killed
Still
Blockbuster.
around.
So, you can't
Nah,
give
Rick-
both praise.
nah.
No, Netflix and
Netflix
Gamefly.
killed.
Netflix. I was about to say
Game-
Netflix.
the
Netflix killed Blockbuster.
It's a combination.
Yeah, the combination of the two.
Yeah.
It was mainly Netflix.
Side note, Netflix
Wow.
tried to buy Blockbuster and Blockbuster wasn't having it.
Blockbuster's still around though.
Seemed like a terrible decision, no.
You know,
Yeah.
Blockbuster is still around though.
In a
They have, like,
very
one store left.
small.
Yes,
They literally
they're
have one store
rebranding
left.
themselves to become a streaming service now instead of obviously
Yeah.
the in store.
Well, they still have one store left.
Too late.
It's now a museum.
They should have done it earlier. They could have just been.
Obviously, it's
they
too
could have
late,
just
but they
been
gonna try
Netflix.
Obviously,
Absolutely could have been Netflix.
Could you imagine we would have had a Netflix store? Too?
we're gonna have a conversation about
I
technology
know.
because that is a whole
This
conversation. in
conversation
itself.
is all
Anyway,
over the place.
point
I'm
is-
sorry.
anyways.
But back to the original like conversation. We do have a real conversation.
I say
But-
they all like, well, let's get to it. Right, for sure.
They enjoy the
got you.
conversation. They like us talking, man. That's if they
It
didn't-
all comes full circle. At
Yeah,
the end.
absolutely. But so like I remember we used to go and we playing games. Like that was the joy in that, being able to be with your boy playing the game. Like we right here laughing, like we having a good time. We probably gonna get something to eat. Like my mom was always making some food or something, you know what I'm saying? Like we doing different things that like you don't get that same camaraderie. I mean, like I said, we played and we all had a good time. But think about the enjoyment if we were sitting right here, right now, playing the game together. It's going to be louder. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be crazier. It's probably going to be like, and think about that with the kids. Like, I don't know. To me, like, I just feel like social media sometimes takes away the fun out of some things. Like, I feel like social media has become this. I feel like there's no balance.
Right.
If I can say that.
Right.
I feel like you got something. You want a rebuttal? Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
always do.
actually,
you always do. I like it.
So I was like on the fence with this conversation right, to start off, as I've said, like I didn't.
And now you went the other way. Got it.
100%. Actually, so
You're the young one. We
so
get it.
I've thought about it as you were talking, as things has been said, and I think we almost sound like the old men talking about back in my day, but the situation. Listen. But the situation.
But I just said balance. I just
Right.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish
100%.
first. I'll let you finish.
But what I'm saying
You
is,
get comic book for a nickel.
because we hear this a lot, that kids today are lazy. They don't go outside. They sit in the house. They don't communicate. They don't talk face to face. All this stuff. Okay, my thing is, if the technology that was here today was here 60 years ago, none of those people would have done that either. This is just the way life is evolving.
I disagree. But see, evolving.
You disagree.
Because
They
this
did
is the
what
thing.
they were capable to.
I'm not disagree. Okay, I won't disagree with that. But I don't think that doesn't make it better. Just because something has evolved doesn't make it that it evolved in
That's
the right
debatable,
way.
though.
That's the what?
That's the point of this
That's
conversation.
debatable. But
That's why we're talking, right?
I know that's what I'm saying. But
Okay,
that's
how about
debatable.
this? How about
I mean,
this?
who says it's worse?
Would you rather, let's say 50 years from now, technology evolves so drastically that people are no longer even going outside,
Right.
right? And it's not even, a stretch to say something like that.
It's really not, especially not after
reality.
last year.
Virtual
Let's
reality
be honest, if y'all seen
can.
Ready Player One, come on now.
Ooh,
It's a potential.
that's a
I mean, I don't
Great
know if it's
comparison.
50 years from now or 100 years from now.
Yeah.
The point is, it's in the distant future,
100%.
Completely.
right? And
Maybe a couple lifetimes from now for sure.
right, the point is, right? So imagine you're there,
Right.
right? And the only thing you have to point back to a time where you were able to go outside and experience all these different things that are natural in the world was at a museum.
yeah.
And more than likely, that museum is virtual. You don't even have to leave your house to go to it. Right? You're literally sitting in a room
Right.
looking at the world through goggles. Let's say that's the thing. Or, 8D screens or something like that. Right?
I don't disagree.
Huh?
I don't disagree with you. Yeah. 100%.
Do you believe that is better simply because it's the only? Oh, I'm not gonna say the only option, but it's an option at the time.
A standard.
Do you think it's better because it's simply available, or do you think that you would, let's say it is only 50 years from now,
Right.
and your kids and your grandkids are the ones that are doing it, and you looking back like, dang man, I wish they would go out and experience different stuff.
Right. So I think it's all about perspective. I think for us it's going to be worse because we're comparing it to what we had. For them, it's not going to be because that's all they know. So when we die off and we're gone, that time period is gone. We don't look back at the 1700s. There may have been stuff for the people in 1700s, but man, when we were still riding camels, that was
I'm
better than
sorry.
cars.
Look,
We were
No,
still
listen.
riding camels.
Yeah, look,
He just listen off right.
Why
Listen.
camels though? Dog.
No, but listen, but you saw how you hear how crazy that sounds. That's how it's gonna sound later on about us.
Okay.
About us saying, hey, well,
Okay.
Now it don't sound crazy to us because we did it. It was
But
a
you
part
know-
of our life.
But you know what? I think people would be missing out on stuff.
That's what- that's
Don,
what-
go ahead. I know you was about to say something, but I just feel like
let
there
me get my
would be
2 cents
some
on this one.
missing.
I see your point, but granted, we are the in between generation. Everybody knows that
Right,
right now.
yeah,
We are the
absolutely.
in-between generation
Right.
where technology just started expanding as rapidly as it was. So we knew outside and technology were the new generation. All they know is basically technology.
Sure.
But I think that comes to the fact that we need to do a better job itself too. Because if we want them to experience what we experience, we have to give them an opportunity. And I'm not even saying like we got to force them outside, But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I have kids, I'm throwing you outside the house. You're not gonna be in my house all day.
Now,
I mean,
I don't think.
I feel
No,
like
don't get me wrong. I don't want us to stay on like the outside thing because I do think some
Oh,
kids
no,
go
no,
outside.
no. But I'm just, but on the
but
flip
not
side-
to the degree that we were. We
I
were
think-
always
I
want you to know
outside.
what it is.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
just think,
Like,
I don't think that it's a matter of giving them an opportunity, right? Because the opportunity is there. It's not like they can't just go and do some of the stuff we did as kids. They can. Their preference is to do what they're doing now. You know.
well, I will
but
say
why?
this.
That's my thing,
I
but
will
why?
say this. Now, I do got to play a little bit devil's advocate on that particular front because there is slightly a bit of a difference where nowadays things are a bit more in a lot of neighborhoods and really just anywhere, things are more dangerous in the sense of like for kids, like where like different things going on. People were snatching kids, and I'm not saying people weren't taking kids back then, but it's a far more of a thing nowadays. Different things like that happen, or not just that, but I'm just saying in general, things are slightly more, or our parents are a little more.
I don't want to lean on that because of technology, right? When we understand that the reason that we're able to say that these kinds of things are happening at this rate is because we're now set in front of that data, right? It's more available to us because of technology. Mm-hmm. Back then, we could have been at the same rate or higher, and we wouldn't know unless we go back and look at that data. Right? Parents then didn't know. The only way they would know is if they were faced with it in the news or someone in the neighborhood was able to relay them that information.
I think I think we all agree. We agree that in-person experiences are better than virtual.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're not disagreeing there.
100%.
What I'm saying is
Not in person is more efficient, but go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we are moving towards a more efficient environment, more virtual environment, and we don't have a choice but to accept it. That's my point.
I'm gonna disagree.
If you
I'm gonna be 100% disagree.
you can disagree, but you're gonna be the 50, 60-year-old that don't know how to do nothing.
No, that's incorrect.
No.
That's incorrect.
But I think you can have a balance. I think you can do stuff.
That's why I agree with that.
I think
though.
you can
But
work
there
with
is no-
technology
there is no-
and still do things in an older manner.
You can't go down a
There's
slide
not-
virtually.
But it's not gonna happen. That's
Why
what I'm
not?
explaining.
You can go
Technology
outside
is
virtually
evolving
nowadays.
quickly.
You put it on your TV.
Wait, but you
put up a
all right,
screensaver.
So I have this idea, right? You know,
Can't feel the wind in your hair.
You ain't
Certain
got no hair.
certain stuff's not going.
You
away.
can't see the Grand
But-
Canyon.
Certain stuff's not
Yeah, you
going
can.
away.
No,
Not everybody's gonna
All they
want to
gonna do
look
is set
at
up
stuff
cameras,
through a virtual
you know, around
camera.
the-
Hey man, I can pull up the
Grand
Grand Canyon on YouTube,
That's not
bro,
the
and put it on my
same.
TV.
That is not the same.
pull
You
up
know
Grand
that's the same.
Canyon on Google. But anyway, Google Earth.
Yeah, I can't. Okay, but
But
we can act like.
I
but
get what
that's
you're saying.
not.
My point is,
Ain't
my
nobody gonna be
point
doing
is that there can be a balance. I honestly believe there can be a balance between what we have experienced, what the older generations have experienced, and what the newer generations are experiencing.
There can be.
And will
Right here
be
today. I
agree.
experiencing.
There
Today,
can be, it
June
just won't
1st,
be.
2021.
I think it's always a choice. I think it
Today?
comes down to us.
I think today,
Right,
yes.
and the
I think-
choice has been made already.
No, it hasn't.
Yes, it has.
I think it's still being made.
I think
I
I
think
definitely think it's.
I think it's still being made.
You
I
do?
think
Well,
that
technology,
I think
new technology come out every single day.
Look, I think
Everyone's
so.
rushing out and buying it.
Man,
Please tell me
wait,
where's
Cool.
this 50-50 decision at?
I
there
didn't
isn't
say-
one.
That a balance doesn't necessarily mean it's 50-50.
It's either get it or get left behind. That's
think
literally
so.
where it's at.
I don't think so. I think that there are going to be developments of technology that are going to allow you to experience real world things in a better way, right? I think that with the use of technology, you'll be able to go and do things safer and more efficiently in the world, and not just sitting behind a screen.
So, think about it this way, right? So think about this is something that I know I've read like probably a couple years ago or whatever, and I'm sure it's even higher now or whatever. But like, isn't it like 70% or 75% of relationships nowadays have started online?
I think that's a good thing.
You think that's a good thing?
Right.
That is horrible.
See, we say that that's horrible, but the amount of this thing called the law of averages, right? To where obviously it goes to the saying of you miss 100% of shots that you don't take, right? you obviously can take more shots and meet more people over the internet.
But I actually feel like you
could. The balance,
but
right?
I actually feel like you could be more efficient when it comes to dating
In person.
right? 100%.
100%. So why not the balance that you're talking about? If I can meet 100 people online and 5 in person, and then turn around and date them in person, meet up with them in person and date them because you don't have to do that at some point anyway.
For sure.
How is that not beneficial to
Then
me?
I end up in somebody's
Actually, that
trunk
number is
missing a
actually
kid.
I can
a lot
only meet
lower.
so many people and go in so many places. I won't literally get the pick of the litter online.
Listen, my
So I
black
can literally go.
I'm the type of person that doesn't believe that having more options gives you a better chance. I don't believe that because I feel like sometimes more options can actually make you overthink and can also give you it'll give you this. You start to compare. And compare. I'm not saying everybody's gonna compare. I mean, when you dating, especially. Now, obviously, I haven't dated online, so I'm not like.
Right.
So this is coming from somebody who
Yeah, I've never had to do it.
I don't have that perspecst. So I'm just giving my outside view on it. But like to me, it feels like that would be. I don't even know how to say. Like, it just seems like that would be difficult to feel like just because I'm shooting my shot more times that I'm just gonna make them. Okay, yeah. If I'm still shooting 25%, like in the sports world, that ain't good. Just because I'm shooting more.
I think
rather
a
shoot
lot
4
of
for
people
5
settle.
than 20 for 100.
I think
you.
a lot of guys settle though.
But
A lot
I think
of
they
girls
settle because they have so many.
No,
okay.
I think they settle when they previous to online dating because they only settle for what was around them in their intermediate circle because that's all they saw. They did not know that there was somebody 20 miles away over here because I never been to.
They ain't know they met a new dude in
I know
Oklahoma.
that there's somebody 20 miles this way or 20 miles that way who like the same stuff I like and all this stuff. I had to settle with the people right here.
Oklahoma,
You end up with somebody cheat on them in a relationship. I mean,
I
you
agree.
have more options.
You're right. No, you bring up a good point. I will say that's very true. What?
I'm just saying. That's
I heard something about Oklahoma.
That's the real issue.
They meet a new dude in Oklahoma,
I'm
and I
just
was
saying,
like,
shooting.
Here's a stat. 30% of U.S. adults have used online dating. 12% found a committed relationship from it.
There we go. 12%.
So that is less than 50%.
That's fine.
But I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
What's the definition of committed relationship? Is that just hey, we dated for a little bit and not
committed as they would
Was it a
represent as a successful relationship.
Okay, that's cool.
I can't say
I like it.
If you want to say 12% of the population, of the U.S. population, cool, that's a lot of
That's
people.
not even 12% of the population. That's 12% of that 30%. That's even smaller than 12% of the population.
So why does it matter?
It doesn't.
30% of the United States use it, and so
That's
that means it's not
the
even a big
most
deal.
recent. That's the most recent stat.
That
So
is,
it's not even a big deal.
that's just
You got 30% in the United States use it. 12% of them people
That's from
found
last
it
year.
useful.
Yeah, last year.
2020.
That's recent.
Aw, stats in 2020 don't count.
They should have come more in 2020.
You got to
That's why
understand
the
that data
online
was
dating in
probably
2020.
gathered.
A lot of people didn't date in 2020.
That
Because-
data was probably
No.
gathered in 2019.
I'm not saying people didn't date.
I mean, COVID babies it was.
I'm not saying people didn't date in 2020. But we're good. We're good. I saw who was. We're good. But I'm not saying that you can't date in 2020. My apologies. We had a little disruption. We're good. But in 2020, I'm just saying, yeah. So if the data is gathered in 2019, all right, cool. I'll allow it. But sorry, no, I'm just joking. Like,
It was
Ladies
gathered
and
in
gentlemen,
2019,
mark
but
allowed.
posted in 2020.
It's funny, and it's funny that he brought that up because I feel like we have took this narrative because we do that in the United States. We believe something and stuff is actually not as bad as it looks to our naked eye.
You're not calling it bad, but you know.
But I don't think
I
this
never said it was bad, man.
No, but I'm saying, but a lot of people have this conversation that we're having right now.
Yeah.
And they make
Sure.
it seem like this right here is worse than what it is. Like no one's doing this, that, and the third no more. And I think that 70% of people are still dating outside of online dating.
True.
And that was one of
If
the
that
things.
statistic's true, because I read something different. No, I'm just saying. I
mean,
literally
you
read
got-
something different like
you
2 years ago.
understand,
That's what I'm saying.
These numbers are being gathered by independent
And they're completely
pollers,
screwed.
right? So
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
it's
these
gonna shoot
numbers
from
are
30 to 70.
I don't think it's actually at 30 is my point, but that's
Neither there or here right
it's
now.
far more people. it's hard for me to believe that only 30% are, because you hear so many
You say
people.
30% of adults, right?
That's not counting. Wait, well,
That's
Adults.
18. That's
18 and up, right?
Right. So
Right.
18 and up. But you got to
how many
understand
people that
between
is?
18 and what, say 45? That's your biggest online dating pool probably right there.
Yeah. Okay. No. And so the reason why. Okay. So look, now that takes the number, and that slants it a little bit even more for me, because now you're talking about 18 to however old, which obviously they really should be taking a poll from 18 to 30. 18 to 35. I even say 35. But if you go on to 18 to 65, I mean, yeah, people from 40 to 65, they're probably not using it as much as the younger generation. So I know, I'm stuck on statistics or whatever. The point is,
So it's probably less than what you think.
no, I think it's higher.
know.
That's my point. Because
Oh,
if
so
they
you want
took
to know what the percentage
older,
of 18 to 30 is using online dating?
sure,
Yeah, that's high.
which are most of the people that are probably.
What are we looking at?
But they're
The
not going to
vast
continue. The older you get, the less likely you are to use it.
What is he?
Okay.
You found something?
So percentages wise, I don't give me percentages, but it gives me
We
the
all
amount of
over the
people.
place.
All right.
It gives me the amount of people.
Anyway.
270 million.
Okay, but
270 million.
I don't believe that either, bro. Come on. That's
yeah,
only
so
300 something.
how many
Are you using
people are in the
that?
US?
So ultimately, the point is, a lot of things are going back to social media.
That's not true.
right?
But you gotta
Go back to
understand,
30,
people have been looking or dating online since Black Planet, since
This is true.
MySpace, since
Right.
Christian Mingle?
YouTube. I mean, I say YouTube.
Black people
Since, Yahoo.
Black people meet.
Farmers meet.
Farmers.
Right? So I mean, you gotta understand, right? And for those crazy people over there on Moco, but
Hey,
you know,
wait. Hey, I'm not throwing no shade at nobody who's on any of these sites, bro. Chuck is. I'm not throwing no shade. I'm just throwing it out there. I only threw out a couple of jokes, Christian Mingle, whatever.
I'm being
If you've
serious.
been on Christian Mingle, hey, I hope you found your person.
listen. Technically,
Chuck is foul, bro.
technically, me and my wife started talking online. Technically,
Hey, I did.
only because
Go ahead.
we worked together
That's funny.
a while back.
That is funny.
You see how the conversation come full circle? That's funny. But hold on.
It's not full circle, but anyway, a while back we worked together, right? Same in person, and I was reaching back out to some of my old coworkers, and
Wait. Did you meet her online or did you meet her in person?
well, initially I met her in person.
That's okay. Then that's not online.
No, what was your first contact?
That's-
with her?
Wait,
That's
but
first-
you gotta
that's not
understand.
online.
What was
It
the first
doesn't-
meeting?
Yeah, what was the first
listen,
contact?
that
What was the
makes
first
a
meeting?
difference.
What was the first contact with her? Was it online or was it in person? Did you walk up to her in the street and was like, "Oh my God, was
I literally
good"?
just said I worked with her, but that's not point. The point is when we worked together, there was no relationship. I was engaged at the time.
Are y'all confused like we are?
Well,
But
if you let me go through the whole story,
Go ahead,
you
go
wouldn't be
ahead.
so confused.
The story is fine, but it's the meeting part. But go ahead.
That's what I'm trying to explain.
All right.
Point is, I met my wife initially at our job. Right? It was not a dating relationship. It wasn't anything
Okay.
close to it.
You're right.
When I first started talking to her in a way that would lead to a relationship that we would consider dating was online.
You're right.
Right? And it went from there. A lot of times you will have situations like that. Watch this.
Go ahead. I'm letting you finish. Taylor.
Anyways, you will have situations like that where people will meet someone or be associated to that person in person,
True.
know of that person in person,
True.
but won't talk to them until they
Online.
feel comfortable online.
Right.
So is that
okay?
making
But
my
wait.
point, or-
But wait. Before we get into points and stuff, but don't you think that? Okay, so like you said, they felt more comfortable. She felt more comfortable. You may have had more of a comfortability talking online in the dating process first.
Right.
But back to what I was saying, and there's y'all met in person. I'm gonna ask you a question, but I'm gonna answer it for you, Ekan. Don't you?
Okay.
Hey, what does that even mean, people?
Right?
Don't you think that because y'all met in person, that made her a little more comfortable with knowing who you are, or at least that you're a real. That at least she may not have known you deeply, but she met you in person, made her a little more comfortable to be able to talk to you online, right?
No, actually, the complete opposite.
Ooh,
She
funny.
thought I was a arrogant know-it-all. And the
person.
only reason that she decided to even continue the conversation with me is because we had a common friend who said, "Give him a try."
So,
But you could, but that try could have happened in person because they gave them.
no, it actually couldn't have.
I feel like there was a little balance.
We
there, but
did
okay.
not. Well, here's the other thing.
Where's my popcorn?
Though we had you remember
Don't bring names, please.
from church.
All right,
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Anyway,
That one. All right.
her
I know.
cousin-
I can read your
my
mind.
wife's cousin.
I can read your mind.
My wife's cousin from church. I didn't know that
My bad. I thought you were about to talk about somebody you dated.
No.
My bad.
my wife's cousin from
Yes.
church.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they were cousins.
Right.
We had multiple
about-
contacts.
Yes,
Yes,
bro.
Oh, okay.
we had multiple
why you would do
contacts that were that we both knew, but we never crossed paths.
Right.
Right. A lot of the people we associated with
Got it.
could have led us together,
Sure.
but in I think it was like 4 or 5 year span
Right.
between the time I left that job till the time we started talking, we just never crossed paths.
I mean, my wife and I knew each other before we dated for a couple of years, but didn't actually talk to each other because other people. But I get it. But
And it worked out for
Just
you guys
fine.
from
Sure,
the
sure.
in person.
Sure.
Okay, so this how this conversation goes.
Here we
This
go.
is how this is gonna wrap up.
Where my popcorn at?
It's
I ain't got nothing to do with it, bro.
It's not even going.
I'm enjoying this.
It's not even going left. I promise.
I
This is
gave
how
my
it's all
2
gonna
cents.
wrap up. It's how it's all gonna wrap up. Because at the end of the conversation, George always ends up being right. So we all just agree.
I don't know that George was right.
Hold on.
Side note.
What?
Side note.
Hold on.
That's
Hold on.
hardly ever the truth.
Hey,
Go
can
ahead.
we say cap? Can we say cap?
Please go back and watch
Can we say
all
cat?
the podcasts and look what happens at the end of the podcast. Just watch it all the way through. Watch
He's
it all the way through.
really, he's really just selling y'all to watch the podcast. But
Yes,
It's
that's
like,
what's
okay.
happening.
I'm telling you all the truth. But, and anyone who's watched this podcast already know. If you watch it, if you listen closely, then you know
Anybody
how
that
this has
says
already happened.
anybody that says they're always right, that tells you off the bat they're not always right.
Yep.
That's never the case.
Okay,
Yep.
fine. Well,
Because I am always right.
am I wrong in this one?
Can we say
Watch this.
cap again?
Watch this. So I said.
It's all types
So
of
I
capping
said,
going on right
bro,
now, for real.
my point in
Go
this
ahead.
whole thing was that online interactions have their place. We are moving in that direction, whether we like to.
No, you said moving into a direction where it's only going to be that. But go ahead.
Right. Eventually.
I don't think that's true.
Okay.
But I'm not going to agree or disagree with that. I never did. My whole thing is about having balance. But go ahead.
I understand about your needs for balance, right? And I should say your want for it. We don't know.
Sure.
We don't
No.
know if we need it or not. Your
I'm
want
100%
for it.
sure I
we
need
feel
balance.
like we need it.
I think
I'm 100%
I think
sure
we need
that
I'm gonna let you
everything.
finish.
has
I'm gonna let
to
you
have
finish.
its
Go ahead.
balance.
I'm gonna let you finish.
It's a lot of Kanye Taylor Swift moments in here today.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We feel like we need it. We don't
But
know.
Beyonce
that
had
we
the best
need it.
video. So
Again,
Go ahead, bro.
we feel like we want that.
Want what?
We don't know for a fact
Balance?
between the two. We don't know for a fact if that's the best case scenario or not. It's just the best case scenario for us and in our current time because we've had both.
Well, I
we've
think
seen the
it's-
best of both worlds. What I'm trying to get you to understand,
it's always going to be subjective.
What
for
I'm trying to get you to understand is the same way that it worked for Dion, it's worked for a lot of other folks
said
as
for
well.
Chuck?
Chuck. It's
That's all right. I
for a
called
lot of-
myself Dion the other
Yeah,
day.
it don't matter.
said-
Yeah, so Chuck,
We've
Dion-
already-
Dion
we've
and
already
Chuck.
explained-
it don't
we already
matter.
talked
Yeah.
about this.
So
We've already
what I'm
explained
saying
this,
is,
so.
at the end of the day, the way that Chuck and his wife talk is the way that a lot of people talk because of the reasons that he actually named himself.
Sure.
A lot of people feel more comfortable talking behind a computer than they do in person.
Sure.
That's been the case forever. The opportunity just was not available to them, so they didn't have a choice. Now they have a choice. Guess what choice they're picking? They're picking to do it behind the computer. And guess what? That community is only going to grow. We are entering a stage of mental health problems. We're entering a stage of all these issues that have been put on the forefront. This is a way that people can still date and do everything without having
I feel like this is directed towards me.
to do anything in person.
What did I do?
So what I'm trying to get you guys to
hear
understand
saying-
as a group is.
But I don't think anybody
we're not wrong.
disagrees.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That
I said at the beginning.
the online usage is a problem.
But it's not
by
even.
the way.
It's all social media in general.
But
people have become more accustomed to talking in front of a computer, which. Look,
For sure.
Is it bad today?
There are
sure,
some-
because it's different. For
There
us.
has more. There has
Different
been,
for us. Different always equals most of the time equals bad.
You know
No,
what?
I
Social
just-
media
yes,
has
it
also
does.
It's
social
ups and
media
downs.
has absolutely created some Twitter gangsters though. So I'm
100%.
just
Well,
saying,
you got
which
Twitter
is not
fingers.
good.
If you want to talk
Is it-
greasy,
wait, hold on,
you know
hold
who
on.
it is, man. I'm sorry.
So
Had a moment.
Twitter gangsters, don't result in violence, but it's better if we did it in person that resulted in violence.
I actually think the mental abuse is worse.
Yeah, you can catch these
But
hands.
Right, but you can also cut that computer off.
You can.
You
right.
can still
So
catch the fade.
in person bullying.
But that's
you
the
can't cut
other
that
issue
off.
though.
But you know
That's
what?
the
In
other
person,
issue, though, G.
in person, you probably don't have that altercation
Wait.
because people don't have that certain confidence.
Here-
and I put up quotations for confidence because it's not real confidence.
Man, bullies have confidence.
For sure.
Bullies or
Bullies have confidence.
Oh, you said bullies or
I'm talking about the other
Oh,
guy.
what you said?
There's typically the one without
Bullies.
the confidence.
Bullies don't have
Oh, I thought
confidence.
you
They
said-
make up
I thought you
for
said bullets.
low self-esteem. But that's
Well,
bully
but
attack.
Whole nother
bullies
conversation.
bully. The bullies
Whole nother
bully.
conversation.
Bullies bully. That's just what they do. In person,
Whole nother
computer,
conversation.
That's just what they do.
But
You can catch
I
his
want to
fade,
make this.
too.
I want to make this quick point though. You know, because I think that we're
Well, we
saying.
don't disagree.
I think that we're saying that
don't.
we shouldn't have a balance in online versus personal interactions. Let's call it that, right?
No, we all think we should have balance. What I'm saying is that we don't have a choice whether we think that or not. So we're just not
I'm
going
trying to make a point, but anyway,
I mean, you're making a wrong point though. I get it.
I don't think you know what the point I'm trying to make, but
we've been all over the place. I love it. Let's go.
interactions, right? But what the dynamics from what I can see personally,
Right.
when I'm online, you have a lot of opportunities to stay in contact with people that you aren't able to see on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a plus,
That was the
100%.
original intent.
right?
Right.
You have people who have more confidence in talking to other people online versus in person.
Sure.
Right.
Doesn't mean that they're always going to be online with that person.
Right.
In other words, it's an initiation. It's an opportunity to meet people and then carry on the relationship outside of online. Now, if you're that type of person that only wants to be online with other people and are stuck behind your computer, I think that's more of a mental issue that should be discussed with a professional.
For sure.
I think that online has its pros, but I think that online can have, quite a few cons.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, that's what
So-
anything in life, right? Pros and cons.
So I think when we say there should be a balance, I think the balance is more of, do we spend majority of our time interacting with people online, or do we spend majority of our time interacting in person? I think there's a balance there that could be had because we do utilize all these different points of technology to keep in contact with family and friends that we don't see
Sure.
all the time, and
Sure.
people that we haven't seen in years, and
Yeah.
reintroduction of people, right? So I think there is a balance that can be had.
I mean,
I do
I
also-
think it's an exaggeration.
I will say this. I do also think that I don't think we've given enough enough light to the fact the opposite side of those who genuinely are more comfortable with face-to-face conversations,
Right.
face-to-face interactions, and things of that nature. There are a lot of people that would prefer to date only in person, to prefer to
Conversate,
interact
period.
with people. Period. Yeah, converse. In person.
So I'm saying Mama Regina was gonna get on you about that.
You know what I'm saying? Your mama would not.
Conversate.
Oh God, she's not gonna appreciate that.
Fight me.
She will.
'cause she
Your
will.
mama will fight you. 100%.
And she will win.
No matter how short she is, she will come for your head.
You gotta
bro.
catch me first.
All right, so he said that.
Yep.
So,
I hold him down for you.
yeah.
Why
I
y'all
grabbed his legs.
disrespectful?
I grab his leg.
We'll triple me. We'll have a slide in the street.
Well, he usually falls on his own, so we're good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No,
That's true. He does a lot of falling.
Remember, feet go up. His body still go forward.
We don't even need the help, actually.
Then work back here.
Right.
Hitting hurdles.
Again, you put yourself out there when you
That was the cue.
Oh, don't be trying to wrap it up now.
All right. So, there are.
Today is not the day.
Wait a minute.
Not the day.
So any of y'all who have been watching our podcast from the start, y'all know we have a few serious conversations and very, very serious conversations. And then all of a sudden, we have one episode in between where it's like, we just all over the place. This is that one today. But you know what? They're usually good
I feel
episodes.
like we've been on point, though.
I
I
mean,
feel like
we have
all the sidebars are still equal up to
Absolutely.
the same general
Absolutely.
conversation of online interaction.
And I love
of
it,
some
either
sort,
way.
whether it's dating, whether it's
MySpace pages.
MySpace. I mean, we talk about pretty much every
pages.
interaction of online talking.
Yeah.
But my thing is, and I think we have to stress this again. We don't disagree on the need for balance with us.
We just disagree
because
on-
this is how we've seen both sides.
Yeah.
My point is going forward, when our generation dies off,
Yeah.
and the only thing that they have
I ain't
is
going nowhere.
strictly everybody got to go.
I'm gonna replace all my organs with synthetic organs.
This entire movement is going towards a more virtual type style
Just like the movie Bicentennial.
of everything. I think certain things
That's
are never
exactly
going
true.
away. I don't think gathering of people is ever going away. I think that's an exaggeration. We do that to try to scare people, but I don't think no one is going to stop traveling. I don't think no one's going to stop gathering and going to sporting events. I don't think these things are not going to stop. People are not going to stop going to bars and hanging out and going. These things are not going to stop. But what I think is going to stop are little things that people talk about where, yes, we don't have to go to someone's house to talk to them no more. We can call them on the phone. We don't have to go to them to play the game unless you want to. You have the choice now.
We don't have
It's
that
more of a
choice that much
now.
anymore.
We have the choice of do whatever you want to do.
I mean, I'm just saying though.
hey, Kobe,
I'm saying,
stop
Back
unless
then
you
we
got
didn't have
two
a choice.
TVs and two stations, ain't nobody about to do that.
But that's your choice though. Back then you didn't have a choice. So you're talking about going back to the time when you didn't have a choice.
I had a choice. Because
You
I
can't
can
compare
play
what we
board
did
games
back
or
then.
video games.
No, we can't compare what we did back then to what we have now. We didn't have a choice but to go to our friend's house to play video games.
Hey,
We
see
didn't
me
have
on the
online.
Monopoly board if you
We didn't
talking.
have a choice but to go ride around outside. Wasn't that much to do on the inside. There's a lot to do on the inside now. There is not. There's a
I
lot
don't know
more
who
to
house
do.
you was at, but we had plenty to do.
Oh yes, but
Yeah.
but there's a lot more better things
Yeah.
to do inside now than was able that we were
Hold
able
on,
to
a
do
lot of the
before.
stuff that listen, a lot of
I'm
stuff.
just giving you a hard
A
time.
lot of stuff that we could have done indoors then we can still do today. A lot of stuff that we did
Right, and then
outdoors
some.
we can still do today.
Right, and then some.
Because these kids don't know about
But
man.
here's my thing though. Only select things change because
Right.
of technology. And so
Right.
that does not mean there was no choice or there is no choice now. There's still a choice. You just have to make it. And we can't sit here and corrupt or cripple our the next generation by telling them, hey, it's okay to only want to do this. Sometimes a little complexity will help just simply help people, right? I'm not telling somebody, say, hey, yeah, you should not only, play video games, or you should go outside only, I'm saying that if we give people the opportunity and show them what is available to them, whether it be indoors or outdoors, whatever the choice may be, and allow them to choose, then we have that, balance. But if we tell them, hey, technology changing, this is where it's going, this is the only choice you're going to have. And I don't think that's the case.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, ultimately,
But it is changing.
like
I'm not saying it's not
Just
changing.
like-
I'm not saying
It
it's
is.
not changing, but you're saying that the choice is being taken away, and it's not.
I didn't say it was getting taken away. I said there's an added choice to it. Back then, you didn't have a choice as to what you could and couldn't do.
No,
there
yeah,
was
you
no,
could.
Yes, you
no,
did.
We definitely had choices.
You
and shit,
absolutely
so I'm not
had a
gonna
choice.
say that.
You did say the choices being made for us. That's that. You did say that.
No, I'm talking about that's two different conversations. You're referring to the conversation when I said that going forward that we're going to have a more virtual society. 100%, yes, that choice is being made. You don't have a choice whether that's going to happen or whether that's going not to whether that's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, I understand there's going to be
we
more
don't
of a virtual. There's going to be a lot more virtual.
Right, we don't have a choice in that.
Technologies, but that's not to say that more people are going to choose to only use a virtual reality versus reality.
That's what they're going to be born into.
I understand that.
I think
So most people born into something are going to do that thing.
I think
And that
we're
thing
getting.
only?
I think we're getting.
Mostly.
I think we're getting off base
I don't
here a
think
little
that's the
bit.
case.
We're going into the basis of the conversation. Is
didn't
more about is more about the
effects.
help, the hurt, the effects of what's going on, what these things are doing, not whether they will. We can't. Ain't none of us. Yes, dude. Could you be right? Sure. Could you be right about what things gonna happen in the future and things like that? Sure. But we ain't got no crystal ball. I ain't Jesus. I ain't got none of these opportunities to know what the future holds. But here, right today, there are certain things that there are pros and cons. That was ultimately what we wanted to get to in talking about this. There are pros and cons to social media. We, like you said, Dom pointed this out. We have been a part of the whole transition period of this. We started off where we didn't have. I still remember a time when Windows 95. Like I'm old enough to remember Windows 95.
Word 95,
things like that.
Had a paperclip down in the right corner.
No cell phone. Like I remember stuff like that. Like and now we're in a time where everything's on your cell phone.
Facts.
Forget just having a cell phone. Everything's on it.
And that's why
I can pull
I've
up
been by no choice.
everything on here.
That's why I've been by no choice.
And that's not in moving forward. There's going to be so many different things that like are going to happen with it. So I definitely think there are good and bad. And I agree with you that we all agree that there needs to be balance. And from our end, and so we definitely want to have balance when we utilize different things. There is good to having. It's nothing like being able to see a sunrise or being able to experience the outdoor experiences, different things like that. But then there's also different things digitally that are just more efficient or
Ain't
more
nothing like open up that brand new game and hurting to see it turn on and you the first one with
absolutely.
it. Ain't nothing like that.
I don't
When you ain't got
personally
to
think that's the case.
Chilling on your
No,
couch.
but I'm just saying, like there's like you said, pros and cons. There's ups and downs. There's nothing like each thing. Everything is different.
Yeah, everything is different.
But that's why
I'm not saying that things are different. I'm not saying I'm not different. I'm not saying that people are not going to have a choice. I'm simply saying that if we keep saying that people's choices are going to be taken away simply because of an access to a technology or lack thereof to whatever we had before, right? The point is we can go out and play outside.
Sure.
Hoop at a park.
Sure.
Run down the street. We can sit in and play video games. So people have preferences.
So the option is available.
Sure.
The option is available. And I think the option was available then, just like it will be in the future. I don't think that
Whether or not we choose it,
right. That's a person's choice.
Right.
So
I think to your point, like we said before, things there can be pros and cons to both sides, right? I spend too much time outside, I can get sunburned, whatever. I don't know.
I smell bad.
That was random.
I scrape my knee.
That was very whack.
Get hit by a car.
oh my God.
Whose man's is this?
Ride down the hill with no brakes on your bicycle. Gotta go into the street.
Listen, not everybody does what you do.
So
Okay.
ultimately, to bring this back
Wrapping
to the
it
end,
I'm gonna tell you that story next time.
they went on some type of weird tangent and Dom
Please
took
don't.
it to a whole nother level. I don't even know where we are now. Let's bring it back here to Earth. So social media is cool. Like, make sure it's cool to use it. Different things like that. I got a question though before we leave. Though,
Just stay in the real world at the same
this
time.
This is a question. This is not on topic at all. As men, right? If y'all don't hear this, I don't know.
They want to hear it.
It's fine. As men, now it's not weird, but it's just a question.
Watch it be weird. Watch it be
Instantly,
weird.
it's
Watch
weird.
it be weird. Come on, bro.
This is a bad start to this question, bro.
I was like,
Very bad.
come on, bro.
I feel like I shouldn't even.
All right,
No,
We
we
just
here
started now.
We
We
here
here.
now. We got
Go ahead and ask the question,
All right, so as men, right?
Right,
Women
as
can't
men.
understand this. So
Okay, that's
this is
fine.
a legit thing. It's a men's podcast, right?
Some women
I mean,
can
women watch.
nowadays.
With this,
At
what
least,
I'm about to say.
at least with their
Are
labels.
y'all okay with like urinals? Like I absolutely hate urinals, bro. Like I just thought I'd throw it out. I told you it was gonna be an odd
Are
question.
we okay with them?
Like, do you prefer to use them, or would you like if they're okay? So if you got, because we was talking about options, do you do that, or do you still just go to the toilet? I mean, what man? I just had to ask, bro, because it's the conversation.
In
that I
terms
had.
of what though?
Right.
Like in terms of the general use of a urinal?
Absolutely,
I have no problem with the general use
Oh
of a
yeah,
urinal.
I can't stand them.
I
I prefer
absolutely
them.
appreciate
No,
urinals.
I can't stand them. We
reason
don't have
I-
to get into the details, obviously.
Oh,
I'm
we
not
get
saying-
into
There's a-
details.
No,
There
there's
are
a-
certain urinals I do not like.
I can't stand urinals.
Have you ever been to a bar, right?
No separator?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. So you got
With
like
no
the-
separator?
That
the
horse,
yeah,
that
exactly.
horse,
With the ice in it? With the ice in
What is
it?
it called?
The horse
Yeah, I
trough.
ain't never
Terrible.
been
When
to
you
that.
trough,
Right. Okay.
they do it at
so-
sporting events
yeah,
sometimes.
so-
Certain
Yeah.
arenas.
So I
It's
think
terrible.
I think Joe Lewis had one.
I refuse.
And
Absolutely.
so there's no privacy. So you go up.
That's why-
And you have to be like centered here
Yeah.
to make sure you don't see nothing else. Because if you
Yeah,
even,
bro.
your eye even back, if you even look down, you're gonna see. So you gotta look up. Almost.
Yeah, man.
Because
Like,
there's zero.
So like,
the guy standing next to you is just like right there. Like it's just everything.
was asking-
Why is there a guy standing next to you?
because
Because
that's what I'm saying.
it's
There's
one long,
it's a trough.
trough.
Ain't that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like a trough. It's a horse trough.
It's
Right, this is
literally
a horse
Oh, we might as well just be peeing in a hole.
Yeah, so it's like as if you got this long sink. That's
it's a
the way
long
to think
sink
of
is
it.
a good one.
Yeah,
I
so
feel
we're
that's
peeing
a
in
best
sinks
long
now.
sink. Right. So
Because the trough technically horses like eat out of that.
Right,
Like,
so you think of a
normally.
long
I-
sink.
okay, I get what you're saying.
About,
About, about a long sink about knee high, and all the guys
We just
walk up
standing
to it.
we just standing
and
shoulder
then
to shoulder,
pee in it, right?
shoulder to
So-
shoulder out here.
Yeah, exactly. So
I've
what do you
never
do?
had this experience.
Right. Okay. So you know,
Well, I saw it and avoided.
Can we
it.
really call that a urinal?
that's
Absolutely.
not.
But
a
I don't
urinal,
even
but
like urinals.
I don't know what that is.
So my thing is,
I like urinals. I mean, as long
I
as
think
everybody
urinals are
follows
convenient.
guy code.
I was about to say, like, yeah.
man
law.
man law.
Now, here's
Rule
the
number
thing.
76.
Here's the thing.
If there is enough urinals, there has to be a space in between.
Yeah, use
okay?
other. But I say
Every
every other
Man-
urinal.
Man code
Wait.
237.
Do not go to the middle urinal.
Here's
There's
one.
no other urinal.
Do you use the short urinal?
Yes,
Absolutely.
100%.
If it's at the
100%.
end,
I don't care.
absolutely.
If it's only one
Or
OE.
you
Because it's
either
typically
wait
at
on
the
the wall.
end. Because it's typically at the
You
end.
either wait on the wall or use the short urinal. There's no other option.
I mean, because you're peeing
Long as
down.
there's
You're
space.
peeing down anyway. What
Long as
difference
there's
does it
space.
make?
I mean, there's no privacy on the short one either.
But there's
also,
nothing. I don't.
also it
so
can
look,
get on. It can bounce
Okay,
back.
too bad. Okay.
All right, bro. Can we go back? Can we go back?
Hey,
Can we go back?
Y'all might not want to. Whatever. I want to start. It was a question I had to ask that I couldn't.
We
forget
should start doing
because
this at the end of the podcast. Just
I
doing
like-
these random
Just a
questions.
random question.
'Cause I just
Just
a
need to
random
know.
question. Talk about for
Today's
5
random
minutes.
question
I just needed
is,
to know how y'all felt about it because I hate them. Like I will avoid. There could be nobody there, and if I
You
don't
would
gotta
still
be
go
like,
to a store.
I'm still going to the
Alternative.
store. Like I'm going in. Like
The alternative is
but why do
a
you
bad
hate
idea,
them?
right?
Did you have
Depends
a
on
bad
where you at.
experience
The
at a
stall
urinal?
at a sporting event?
Oh yeah, that's the.
Did you have a
I'm not
bad
going in
did you
there,
have a
but-
bad experience at a urinal?
In the sense of like, there's been some nasty ones, sure, but that's not why.
But
like, I don't
not
like
compared to the
I feel like
toilets.
there's less privacy. I don't like non-pri. Like we.
So
like,
even if there's the wall between the
I'm not
urinals?
saying I
Oh,
never
yeah,
use.
with
I'm
the
not
wall.
saying. I'm not saying I never use the urinal. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, but
I just
I'm
don't
not-
prefer. I hate it.
But
That's
what
all.
if it had the wall?
Huh?
You know, the little.
I'm
Like, I can
dividers.
understand
I'm a
the
little
ones
more
without the
inclined to be
dividers.
okay. I'm a little more inclined to be okay if there's the dividers, but. Like,
I'm not
I
going
still
to the
hate.
urinal.
I'm
I'm not
still
going to the stall unless I absolutely.
No,
Unless
no,
all
I'm not talking
urinals
about,
are
I'm
taken.
not just talking about sporting events though. Like, cause we got them at my office, right? So like, I still don't want to
I'm
use the
still-
urinal
I'm
at the
still
office.
using
Like,
the
I'm going
urinal,
to the stall all day, 100%.
That's just more touching
100%.
stuff, and it's nasty. Somebody may have,
I hear you on
win
that.
number 2 in there.
I'm washing
and
my hands
just-
anyway. I ain't trying to do all
I'm
this.
just, I can just go right to the.
I am completely flabbergasted by this whole conversation.
I don't know why
real
you trying to.
conversation.
I don't know why you trying to act like you're
Most
not.
guys talk
Because he
about
used
these
urinals
things.
too. I don't know
Yeah,
what he's
bro.
talking about.
This is great for a podcast. As this is a
And
conversation.
low-key, women
this
don't
is a topic.
understand, so now they have a view into
Yeah,
our
this is a
into our
topic
eyes,
of
you know what I'm
conversation
saying?
for guys.
Hey,
the
listen.
different kind of urinals.
Listen.
the staring, the man code.
Yeah.
Obviously.
don't break
and any
Never
man that
turn
don't
your
know
head.
this, any
You're
man
not
that's
allowed to
listening
turn
to
your
this,
head,
right?
bro.
Any man that's listening to this, and if you break this rule, just know we talk about you on the low. We don't like you. I mean,
I'm gonna talk
at all.
about you outwardly
If
on
you-
this podcast.
if you can't wait, I would rather you piss your pants than sit there and use the middle urinal. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
That's facts, man.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
do that.
All right.
Facts.
No, well,
We don't
here's,
like
here's
it.
the perfect example, right? You're at a movie
Wait,
theater.
I don't know if I want an example, but go ahead.
You're at a movie theater, right?
We supposed
Movie's
to be
over.
finishing.
Whole bunch of people coming out rushing to go to the bathroom. There's a line in the bathroom.
Right.
Right.
This is a great scenario. Go ahead. Okay.
It is. It is. There are 4 stalls and 6 urinals,
Okay.
right?
Big bathroom, huh?
Typically, you
This time out. The Star
it's a movie
Southfield
theater.
was
In movie
actually like
theater.
that. The Star Southfield was
ahead.
actually like this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, that's 3 people at the urinal,
Right?
right?
You said 4 urinals, but go ahead.
Did I say
No,
six?
he said four
You said
stalls.
4 urinals.
No,
No, 4
4
stalls.
stalls,
6
6
urinals.
urinals.
Okay, 6 urinals.
So that's 3.
That's 3.
3 at the urinal.
So that's total 7 people using the bathroom at once.
That's a good number.
What happens when the sink is right next to a urinal?
What you mean? What happened?
That's disgusting.
That's awkward.
And
It is awkward, but
Super awkward.
You leaning over.
I mean, you definitely gonna wash your hands, but it's still awkward.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
say like this.
necessary
Do you
evil.
wait to wash your hands or do you?
Okay,
Listen.
listen.
First of all, First of
Hold
all,
on.
It's a question.
if it's a line to the back, no. If it's a line in the bathroom, if there's a line to get in the bathroom, there's 6 urinals, 4 stalls. All the stalls are full, but there's still a gap in between the. That's the only time when that's okay. It's okay to break men law.
For sure.
Look,
That's the
I don't
only
like-
time.
You have a
I don't
choice,
like
but-
the example because this is not realistic.
No, that's definitely realistic.
That is realistic.
I've
It's
definitely
a bathroom
been- been stalls right
in
next
a
to-
bathroom that big?
Yes.
Absolutely.
The
I've definitely seen
the
this.
sink was
Yes.
right next to the
Yes,
urinal.
yes.
Yes.
I'm talking-
Wait.
No, Star Southfield was
Clinton
built just like
Township,
that.
Clinton
Well,
Township,
you
Hall
should
Road, at
Support your bathroom.
MJR.
Put your coke away.
Yeah, typically
sink
the
is right
sink are
next
on
to
the
the
other
urinals.
sides of the urinal. They're not next to them.
Yes, no, they are. At the
I ain't never
MJR in Clinton Township on Hall Road, the sinks are right next to the
That's
urinal.
a
It's
poorly
kinda-
made bathroom. Most bathrooms, the sinks are on the either opposite side or
Around
they're
the corner.
They are at least about 4
Yeah,
or
around
5
the corner.
steps. Yeah,
On
around
the
the
other side
corner,
of the
4 or
wall.
5 steps away.
Normally.
Unless it's a small
Normally.
bathroom where it's
Normally.
like 1 urinal.
He's giving
and a
us an
stall.
anomaly. You know, it
Yeah,
happens.
unless
Like I
like
said.
one stall and
It happens.
and a urinal. Oh yeah,
sure.
and that one star theater,
This
you're
conversation.
gonna have to suck it up.
This
and
conversation
wash your
went
hands.
way.
Absolutely went
Well,
left,
it's
but I
your
want to
fault.
bring
Conversation
in.
went way further.
Or use
than I
hand sanitizer
expected.
and walk out.
I know. I gotta watch. I need that soap and water, bro. All right.
First
I'm
of all,
just gonna have to stand there like
any-
and not
any
like
man
close
that
my eyes while I'm washing my
Anybody
hands.
just splash their hands in water and walk out, you foul. I'm just gonna be
I
that
said hand sanitizer. I ain't saying nothing about splashing no water.
That's gonna be a conversation for another day.
disgusting.
The
That's
cats
absolutely
cats that
disgusting.
walk out and
That's
don't
why a lot of
wash their
people
hands.
got
Not
COVID.
washing your hands in the bathroom.
Man,
We need to have that conversation.
That's gonna be
because
another-
I feel
that's gonna be
like-
another-
I feel like
there you
all
go.
guys don't
All
agree.
right,
we
say
gotta
that for
go.
the next
I
episode.
feel like all guys do not agree on the whole.
I'm
not
sure they
washing
don't, because a
your
lot of
hands
them don't.
because it
Wash their
depends-
hands.
Because I feel
So-
like they think it depends on what you're doing in the bathroom.
Yeah,
Nah,
which
it
is
don't.
stupid. Which is stupid.
It
but,
don't. Not at all.
Because
So
germs
anyways,
don't happen. No
That
matter
is
what.
our 5-minute conversation for next week.
It was really 10, but.
More like
But
50.
hey, we for real about to bring up these like rant because that's just stuff
It's
we gotta
fun.
talk about.
Or we
bro.
can put them at
Like,
the beginning and
It don't
and
matter.
replace,
Oh wow, the disrespect, the disrespect.
My bad,
never mind. No, we'll put it at the end.
I mean, he looked real sad after.
But of course, as usual, we appreciate y'all for coming through and enjoying this time with us, this conversation about social media.
Facts.
Don't get me wrong, we all are on social media and we enjoy social media.
Yeah, follow us.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying? Most of us are
I
on
don't
there
really care if
on
you
different
follow me
parts.
or not.
Yeah, I don't really. You can follow us as a podcast for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know you
But
can click mine.
as long as you watching, that's all that really matters.
At
Because
Dom
if you hear us, you're watching us right now, so it doesn't matter. Or listening to us. You know what? Forgive me. I gotta forgive myself. I always say watching us. Not Like, there are people that still only listen to, because I know
That's
some people.
fine, too.
I know some people that
my
only
boy
listen.
only listens to us on
Yeah, I was
Spotify.
gonna say, some people only listen to podcasts. So shout out to y'all too, man. We appreciate y'all, and
I respect it.
man, we really are grateful to keep doing this podcast.
We are. We're gonna keep
Thank
going.
y'all. We're gonna keep going and doing more topics like this, like urinals and everything. All right, we about to sign off for Boys to Men.
One.
One.